because in a few minutes, the webinar will proceed in more time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen, before we start our webinar today, I would like to ask all of you to stand up to sing our national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a remarkable and precious chance for all of us to have this visiting professor webinar with the topic of Produksi dan Potensi Tanaman Singkong sebagai pangan lokal dalam rangka mendukung agribisnis. This webinar is held by Tidar University, Diponegoro University, and Kagawa University. Today, on Thursday, September 24, 2020. And please, let me introduce myself. I am Miss Kipua, and it is a pleasure to be a master of ceremony in this webinar. The respectable rector of Tidar University, Professor Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Arifin, Master of Science. The respectable Vice Rector of Tidar University, Dr. Insinyur Lokal, Magister Science. The Honorable Moderator, Dr. Sri Sarwati, Sarjana Pendidikan Magister Humaniora. The Honorable Professor Shigeru Hayato, who is going to be our first speaker today. The Honorable Insinyur Usman Siswanto, Master of Science, Doctor of Philosophy, who is going to be our second speaker today. And also, all the honorable participants, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the visiting professor webinar. First of all, praise be to Allah for giving us health and safety to attend this webinar today. We would like to inform you about the rundown of this webinar. The first one is registration. Second, singing national anthem. Third, speech from the rector of Tidar University. Fourth, opening from the moderator. Fifth, presentation by speaker 1. Sixth, presentation by speaker 2. Seventh, interactive discussion or question and answer. 8, improvements of book chapter writing, or perkembangan penulisan book chapter, and last, of course, is costing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please give your warm welcome to the speech from Rector of Sebagai University, Professor Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Arifin, Master of Science. Please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Selamat pagi Bapak Ibu dan saudara-saudara sekalian yang saya hormati, peserta workshop kedua dengan tema Produksi dan Potensi Tanaman Singkong sebagai pangan lokal dalam rangka mendukung agribisnis yang diselenggarakan oleh Universitas Tidar bekerjasama dengan Universitas Ponegoro, kemudian juga Kagawa University dari Jepang, dan kegiatan ini disupport oleh Kementerian Pendidikan dan Kebudayaan melalui program World Class Professor. Pada kesempatan kali ini, saya secara khusus ingin menyampaikan penghargaan yang sebesar-besarnya kepada pembicara utama kami, yaitu Profesor Shiguro Hayakawa dari Universitas Kagawa dari Jepang. Our distinguished guest, Professor Hayakawa, good morning and thank you for your support in our workshop. I hope that the virtual meeting like this morning will not disturb our communication, especially for running our program. We hope that the next time, very soon, we will have any chance to meet to each other, especially we will welcome you to visit again Tidar University in Magelang, Central Java, Indonesia. Again, thank you very much for your support. We hope that our cooperation will be useful for the development of our institution. Bapak, Ibu, dan saudara-saudara sekalian, pada kesempatan kali ini kami mungkin mengucapkan selamat kepada PIC atau Person in Charge dari kegiatan workshop ini, karena dengan atau melalui jerih payah Bapak Ibu sekalian, kegiatan kita ini bisa berjalan dengan lancar. Terutama sekali kegiatan ini mestinya lebih rumit dari kegiatan yang biasa karena workshop ini melibatkan beberapa pihak, terutama dari Undip, dari Kagawa University, dan dari Untidar, sehingga usaha yang keras dari teman-teman atau Bapak Ibu PIC patut mendapatkan apresiasi yang tinggi. Mudah-mudahan jerih payah yang Bapak Ibu telah laksanakan akan membawa manfaat yang besar bagi kita semua. Kemudian juga secara khusus kami ingin menyampaikan penghargaan yang setinggi-tingginya kepada pembicara yang lain, yaitu Bapak Dr. Usman Siswanto, Dekan Fakultas Pertanian Universitas Tidar. Ya. Terima kasih Pak Usman atas support-nya, sehingga kegiatan kali ini bisa berjalan dengan baik. Juga pada Ibu Sri Sarwanti, Dr. Sri Sarwanti sebagai moderator, kami mengucapkan terima kasih atas partisipasi dari Ibu sebagai moderator. Juga pada kesempatan kali ini kami ingin menyampaikan penghargaan yang setinggi-tingginya pada Bapak, Ibu, dan saudara-saudara sekalian, termasuk para mahasiswa, ya, bagi peserta workshop dari manapun saudara-saudara berasal, ya, kami mengucapkan terima kasih atas partisipasinya, sehingga kegiatan workshop ini bisa berjalan semarak, ya, dan mudah-mudahan akan memberikan manfaat yang sebesar-besarnya bagi kita semua. Yang terakhir sebagai penutup, kami berharap juga bahwa workshop-workshop berikutnya akan segera menyusul. Mudah-mudahan topik-topik yang akan kita bahas pada workshop berikutnya akan lebih luas, lebih mendalam, sehingga akan membawa kemajuan atau pengembangan ilmu pengetahuan, teknologi yang sedang kita perjuangkan untuk, ya, selalu dikembangkan demi kemaslahatan umat manusia secara umum dan bangsa Indonesia secara khusus. Sekali lagi, kami mengucapkan terima kasih. Thank you very much for Profesor Siguro Hayakawa. Kemudian juga kepada Pak Usman, pada Bu Sri Sarwanti atas partisipasinya dalam workshop seri kedua ini. Kami atas nama institusi Universitas Tidar, mohon maaf apabila di dalam memberikan fasilitas atau memfasilitasi kegiatan kali ini ada kekurangannya, karena bagaimanapun manusia atau kita semua sudah berusaha semaksimal mungkin, tetapi selalu saja manusia itu memiliki keterbatasan-keterbatasan, sehingga saya mohon maaf apabila dalam penyelenggaraan kali ini support dari Universitas Tidar dirasa masih ada yang kurang. Terima kasih. Selamat mengikuti workshop. Mudah-mudahan kita semua memperoleh manfaat yang sebesar-besarnya melalui kegiatan workshop kita kali ini. Our regard for colleagues from Hayakawa University and also for Mrs. Siguro Hayakawa, all of us in Tidar University waiting both of you to visit Tidar University in Magelang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, sir, for your long speech to open this webinar. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move to the fourth agenda, that is an opening from the moderator. Our moderator today is Dr. Sri Sarwanti, Sarjana Pendidikan Magister Humaniora, She is one of the lecturers in Tidar University. She teaches some subjects here, and one of the subjects that she teaches is English for professional purposes. One of my favorite subjects, to be honest. To Dr. Sri Sarwanti Sarjana Pendidikan Magister Humaniola, the time is yours, please.
Thank you, the MC, Mbak MC. The Honorable Professor Dr. Engineer Muhammad Arifin, Magister of Science, Director of Tidar University. The Honorable Professor Shigeru Hayakawa and Insinyur Usman Siswanto, MSc, PhD, the speakers, distinguished guests, students, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
First of all, I would like to welcome you to this prestigious webinar about produksi dan potensi tanaman singkong sebagai pangan lokal dalam rangka mendukung agribisnis, held by Tidar University. As we know, cassava, or in Latin language, we call it as manihoda esculenta, is a root vegetable used for both culinary purposes and also in folk medicine. Cassava is an important tuber crop and one of the most important sources of carbohydrate in the developing world. Cassava is also thought to improve health by boosting immunity and regulating digestion. In this occasion, we shall have outstanding presentations from our prominent presenters who I believe shall enrich our insights and also knowledge regarding to the topic of this seminar. Before the presentation begins, allow me to introduce the presenter. Our first presenter is Professor Shigeru Hayakawa. He is a professor from Kagawa University, Japan. The academic and professional records are starting from 1977, he has completed his doctoral course in Nagoya University. And then starting from 1979 till 1989, he was an assistant professor in Nagoya University. Starting from 1982 up to 1984, he was a researcher in the University British Columbia, Canada. And then in 1989 till 2017, he was a professor in Kagawa University. Starting from 1996 up to this is March 1996 up to November 1996, he was an invited professor in the University of Guelph, Canada. And then in 2009 up to 2013, he was the Dean of Faculty of Agriculture. Starting from 2013 up to 2015, he was the Vice Rector in Kagawa University. In 2015, he was the Emeritus Professor in Kagawa University. Starting from 2015 up to now, he is an advisory professor in Kagawa University. Starting from 2017 up to now, he is also an invited professor in Diponegoro University, Indonesia. Starting from this year, in June, He is a chairman of the Association of Rare Sugar Promotion. His research field is food science, including some topics as follows: structures and functional properties of food proteins, applications of rare sugar to food products, and the development of food products with health benefits. Wow, those are the academic and also professional records from Professor Shigeru Hayakawa. Very outstanding, ladies and gentlemen. Well, without further ado, I would like to welcome our first presenter. He will deliver a presentation entitled Vegetable and also Fruits in Kagawa for developing value-added food products. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Shigeru Hayakawa. The floor is yours, Professor.
Okay, thank you very much for introducing me in detail. I'm very happy to join this workshop, especially so this joining the Tidal University and Diponegoro University. So many people join this workshop, and I'm missing Magellan Tidal University, so I enjoyed there a lot. So I'd like to visit again. President Rector Alphins told me, say, please come back again in Magellan Tidal University. So I hope so. My first topic is like that. So I'm gonna share the screen, okay? Okay. Okay, my title is Vegetables and Fruit in Kagawa for Developing Value-Added Food Products. I heard this workshop is a sort of the agribusiness. So I added how to say fortify the value for the agricultural products. So first of all, I'd like to explain the merit of vegetables and fruits, and then how to make value-added food products. Okay. Now, so this is Japanese Ministry of Health say introduce food with health claims since 1991. So this category is include two types of food. One is left side, food for specified health use. They simply call that the tokuho. And another one is food with nutrient function claims. For example, mineral or vitamin or something. And now, how come? Now, we introduce another category, food with functional claims, since 2015. What is that? So almost 5 years ago, we introduced what's the difference between tokuho and functional claims. Okay, so simply, this category means that companies can sell functional foods with health by notifying to Consumer Affairs Agency. That means the safety and effectiveness are responsible for the company. What is Tokuho? The Japanese government is responsible. So a little bit different because a company can express the health advantage, health benefit. So now 2,761 products were notified in March 2020. So just I say a market of food with functional claims. Billion yen means 2018 almost 200 billion yen. And 2019 estimated about 240 billion yen. So increasing annually. And from here, I would like to explain about the vegetables and fruits, especially vegetables. In Japan, we intake less vegetables daily. For example, male average 284, female average 270 grams. And as a middle of Japan, the consumption is high, both male and female. But west of Japan, so consumption is a little bit low. And I showed the consumption of vegetables by various age people. The under 20, say 271, are a little bit higher than a young generation. In young generation, 20 to 29 and 30 to 39. So almost 200, 32 and 218 are very low. But aged people from us are a little bit high. So what's the difference under 20 and over 20? You know, in Japan, we are a good system. So elementary school and secondary school supply the lunch, and in lunch, so plenty of vegetables are served. But still not good because intake of 350 gram vegetables is recommended by Ministry of Health. So every age less than 350. So we recommend to eat vegetables. And especially in Kagawa, the consumption of vegetables are quite low. Like here, Kagawa prefecture is like that. So color is blue. It means low consumption. So in Kagawa prefecture, we recommend to eat plenty of vegetables. Why? Because the vegetable is very good for health. So this shows the health benefits of vegetables and fruits. So both are antioxidant source, and there are many health benefits. For example, reduce heart disease, promotes eye health, reduce diabetes, decrease cancer risk. And I showed metabolic control of food in human body. So this figure showed high rank is top. For example, a garlic, cabbage, licorice, soybean, ginger, carrot, celery, spinach. So they have many health benefit like that. And there are many functional components in vegetables. The left side components, flavonoid, carotene, and polyphenol like that. And what vegetable is good? So I showed several vegetables and functions like that. So in Kagawa, we produce a lot of vegetables and fruits. The major one is like that: onion, kintoki carrot. So I will explain what the difference between kintoki carrot and western carrot, or ordinary carrot, and olive, garlic, asparagus. We produce huge asparagus, lettuce, broccoli, and matured tomato, like that. And fruit, like that. Satsuma orange, kiwi fruit, strawberry, grape, peach, pear, Lokal. So we produce many fruits. According to that, so Kagawa is rich in fruits and vegetables. Maybe same as in Indonesia. I'm missing a lot of fruits in Indonesia. For example, durian, passion fruit, guava, and papaya, like that. Oh, sorry, I forgot banana. Banana, I love banana, so I like pisang goreng. Okay, next. So I will show you the components and function of vegetables in Kagawa. Number one is lettuce. So containing vitamin, beta carotene, vitamin C, folic acid, mineral, fiber, and also containing polyphenols. That polyphenol show the antimicrobial activity and antioxidative activity like that. Next one is broccoli. It contains beta carotene and vitamin, and the special one is SMCS. This one decrease blood cholesterol. And SMCS means S-methyl L-cysteine sulfoxide. The structure is like this. And in Japan, company Sunstar is selling canned vegetable, say vegetable juice from the broccoli. The juice contains SMCS from the broccoli and cabbage. What that? So SMCS activate the enzyme converting cholesterol to bile salts. So in liver, cholesterol is converted to bile salts and excreted to the intestine. And then increase bile salt excreted to intestine and outside. So enhance decrease cholesterol level in blood. So this one is a kind of toku. Next one is asparagus. Sanuki no mezame, a jump size asparagus. So I'll show you the size. Okay, here. Maybe you can measure more than 20 centimeters of asparagus. Usually 10 or 15 centimeters. But this one is very big, very delicious. And asparagus contain aspartic acid which recover from fatigue and vitamin, especially asparagus contain glutathione, detoxification. So asparagus is very good for health. So we sell this jumbo size asparagus. Our next one is onion. Onion contain two the good components. One is allicin. The chemical structure is like this. This one enhance vitamin B1 activity, improve physical strength, a variety of antimicrobial properties, and so on. Another one is polyphenols, quercetin, a strong antioxidative activity. So two types of components are included in onion, like that. Quercetin is polyphenol being rich in vegetables such as onion, broccoli, and so on. And quercetin has many activities written here. And in addition to that, company has some improvement of the quercetin. After extraction of quercetin, this one is glycated, as it means added sugar, because quercetin is not water soluble. But after adding glucose, quercetin easily dissolve in water, so increase solubility. But this attached glucose is degraded in intestine, so enhance absorption and enhance activities. So this one contained the quercetin, just a Japanese green tea, no sugar, and rich in quercetin. Next one is tomato. Tomato is two type of good components. One is a carotenoid, lycopene and beta carotene, strong antioxidative activity and enhance immune activity. The another one is polyphenol. We call it vitamin P. The name is hesperidin. Also antioxidative activity and inflammatory. Next one is green pepper. We Japanese call it a piman. Inside is empty, but this piman is very good, effective for our health. Vitamin C and also containing polyphenol, hesperidin, and carotenoid. I'm going to show you the hesperidin, about the hesperidin. The structure is like this. Polyphenol and attached to sugar components and containing that as a hesperidin is included in the orange, especially the skin of the orange. And next one is functional properties of the carotenoid, say alpha carotene, beta carotene, beta cryptodantine, lycopene, like that. Especially, I would like to explain about beta cryptodantine. Okay, so I will I will explain about the beta cryptodantine in mandarin orange. Now, so I'd like to explain about another say vegetable, say carrot. This one is kintoki carrot. You can see the difference between kintoki carrot and western carrot. Very long and reddish. This one contains say plenty of lycopene. So lycopene shows the antioxidant activity and prevent aging and allergy. So we produce using orange and kinto carrot to produce, say, juice, like a smoothie, like juice, mixture of mandarin orange and kintoki carrot. And this one is developed by the high school student in Kagawa. Name is non-dego. Very delicious. Now we add real sugar in this juice. Okay, so next one is orange. Say I showed you the orange contains plenty of beta cryptodantine. Just show you. This say configuration is beta cryptodantine. What is the difference between beta carotene? I will show you. Anyway, so Satsuma mandarin orange contains plenty of beta cryptodantine, and your fruit, papaya, also contains some amount of the beta cryptodantine. And this one is a difference between the beta carotene and beta cryptodantine. You can see the beta carotene structure and just attaching OH here. So very similar. And beta cryptodantine is a carotenoid. And many function it has. So antioxidative activity. But in Japan, now beta cryptodantine is popular for the bone formation, prevent osteoporosis. This the juice containing beta cryptodantine are selling as health claim food. How effect does it? So usually, so this is the metabolism of the calcium in human body. And usually we intake 600 milligram calcium. And also about half of the calcium and you go to blood. And then the excess amount of calcium is stored in the bone. Bone is just the storage of the calcium. And if the calcium in blood is low, calcium is formed from the bone using osteoclastos. That's a cell in bone. And beta-glutathione reduce activity of osteoclast. So they prohibit to release calcium from the bone. That's why beta-glutathione is good for the osteoporosis people, especially the aged ladies. So we produce several products using orange. This one, the orange juice and orange powder. And especially, so this one is health cream food. The intact orange is good for our health, like that. So I told you the advantage of vegetables, benefit of vegetable. But it is a sort of the agricultural products, and we would like to add, say, value. How to do? Now I'm going to explain how to enhance the value from the say intact vegetables. Now, sorry, we usually use cool drying method. Okay, I will show you the drying method of the vegetable. Usually, conventional method is heat air dry method. So drying vegetable at high temperature. But when we heat vegetable, damage is severe. Another one is freeze drying, less quality damage after hydration and maintaining good texture, but it takes long time to dry vegetable and especially high running cost. So company in Takamatsu, Kagawa developed the machine, just a combination of refrigerator, dehumidifier, and air blower. Just a built-in one machine. And it can maintain temperature about 20 to 40 degrees Celsius, but it takes about 20 hours. One demerit is it takes a long time. Anyway, the company Cool Dry Machinery produce one say advantage instrument. This is a cool drying system. At first, water content is high in vegetable. So gradually blowing cold air and dehumidifier, using dehumidifier, reduce the water content in the vegetable and gradually decreasing and gradually, so we enhance temperature. The finally, humidity is 12%. It takes about 20 hours, but the quality is very good. So I will show you what difference. These products, we made dried vegetable like ginger, Japanese horseradish, chili, pumpkin, spinach, and also dried persimmon and dried sweet potato. This one is very delicious, unlike that. And what the difference between high temperature drying and low temperature drying? For example, color, say after high temperature heating, changed browning, but low temperature drying maintain intact color like this, almost intact. Color is almost intact. The flavor maintain intact flavor and taste are very good and remain most of the component. So these four are a merit, but one demerit is that it takes a long time. So running cost is a little bit higher than high temperature drying, but the quality is very good. So at first, we found the advantage of cold drying. What happened? So we use olive leaves for the olive tea, and in order to get the olive powder, so we dry olive leaves. And during drying, olive polyphenol increased. What happened? At first, we wondered what they at first we thought that a mistake of the measuring, but actually repeated and repeated we measured, but the content is very high because we drying up olive leaves at 20 to 40 degrees Celsius. During drying, say most of the enzyme in olive leaves are active. So olive leaf convert some component to polyphenol. And also antioxidant activity is stable at least 1 month, measuring using Japanese spinach. We call that mamba. 0 day, 30 days, almost same. And using asparagus, almost the same. So we maintain polyphenol for a long time, and we increase the content of polyphenol using olive, mamba, and asparagus. And how about another product? Yes, right. Enhancing polyphenols by cold drying. For example, lettuce. After drying, the polyphenol content is almost twice in lettuce, and sweet basil almost 3 times. So cold drying method increase functional components, maintain texture and flavor. So vegetables can be stored for a long time. So we can produce value added vegetables especially we keep vegetable for a long time. So we recommend to export dried vegetable to other countries. So this is a say, drying as a procedure. Okay, and this is a raw lettuce in the bag and put in the machine instrument and control temperature in room 25, 30, and 40. Then we made the dried lettuce. So water content decrease like this. And total polyphenol in dried lettuce about twice or 3 times after 24 hours drying. I showed the GA, gallic acid equivalent value like that. So antioxidative property is high using DPPH method and ORAC method. So after drying lettuce, we produce a lettuce containing high content of polyphenol and antioxidative activity remarkably increased during drying. Okay. So we produce another products in Japan. This one is Japanese radish, daikon. Do you know daikon? We usually use grated Japanese radish. And after cutting daikon like this and drying, cut radish, and then after, say we crush, just a crushing, let's say dried radish, they packed here like this. And when we use daikon oroshi grated with radish, we just put water like this and get grated with radish. So we produce vegetables with high polyphenol content and good taste. Okay, please eat delicious vegetables and fruits. Thank you very much.
A very nice and enticing presentations, yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems that increasing the intake of lettuce, which is rich in polyphenol, and then broccoli, and then onion, which is rich in quercetin, and then also increasing the intake of orange. Besides the taste is good for orange, we can also consume the skin of the orange, yeah? And then increasing also the intake of carrot. Indeed, it reduces the lifestyle-related diseases, yeah? And also all of them are beneficial to our body, especially to our health. If you can't consume those vegetables in fresh conditions, you can have them in dried condition, which tastes better and also crunchy. Can you ever, or have you ever tried dried lettuce? Yeah, if you haven't, it means that you have to have a contact with Professor Hayakawa to send you the dried lettuce.
Yeah,
Right,
actually, I already tasted.
dried radish.
Yes.
Since
the-
here in Indonesia, we usually know as lobak. Yeah, and I don't know how do we serve lobak or radish in Indonesian culture.
Mhm.
Well, the next one. Thank you, Professor Hayakawa. It's really
Okay, you're welcome.
also inviting us to consume more vegetable and also more fruits. And then for the second presentations, before the presentation itself begins, allow me to introduce the presenter. Our second presenter is Insinyur Usman Siswanto, MSc, PhD. He is the Dean of Faculty of Agriculture in Tidar University. He was graduated from University of 11 Maret for his PS, and then his Master of Science was got from Mississippi State University, USA, and then his PhD was got in 2000 in horticulture from Mississippi State University, USA. He's got so many experiences, ladies and gentlemen, and he is also very outstanding here. He is one of the famous editor in Journal of Agriculture Science, and then editor member of Indonesian Journal of Natural Products, and then he is also the technical assistant for Tawangmangu Medical Plant Research Office, PPTO Tawangmangu. And then for the development of Artemisia annua to support self-sufficient program on malaria raw material. He is also had research on medicinal plant and Indonesian herb medicine in collaboration research with Medicine Plant Research Center of Medicinal Plant and Traditional Medicine, Minister of Health in Indonesia. He is also the head of Research and Community Services Center of Tidar University. And then now he is the Dean of Agriculture Faculty in Tidar University. Yeah, he's got also awards. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he has so many pages of his CV, and I think it is impossible for me to read all of them. And then the awards that he's got is, he has got a scholarship from Ministry of Education and Culture, and then he has also had a scholarship from USAID, and then he is also had a scholarship in the development of undergraduate education project. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our second presenter. He will deliver the presentation entitled Local Tuber Species as an Alternative Resource of Carbohydrate. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pak Usman. Yeah, we call it as Pak Usman. Well, Pak Usman, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Good morning, everybody. Honorable Prof. Moh Arifin, Director of the University of Tidar, Dr. Insinyur Nur Farid, Vice Rector 1, Pak Joko Esgiarto, Vice Rector 2, Prof. Sugiarto as a Vice Rector 3, dear respected guest speaker from Kagawa University, Prof. Hayakawa, ladies and gentlemen, participants of this particular workshop. Thank you very much for this great opportunity. I am so honored to be here to deliver something like sharing experience dealing with the cassava program development. Please. Okay, before we start, I'd like to welcome Prof. Hayakawa. I think that one time we met at University of Tidar, maybe 1 year ago. I expect that in not too long, we can meet again at this university. And if you are willing to come to visit Medicinal Plant Research Center in Tawangmangu, it will be a welcome for me. Okay, let me begin with the title. Okay, title, Mas. I would like to maybe just kind of general information about the local tuberous species as an alternative resource of carbohydrate. Please. Okay, let's go ahead. Go ahead, satu lagi.
Next.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me start with the situation right now. We know all that the number of chronically undernourished people in the world reached close to 1 billion in 2016. And the COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted food system globally and regionally with extensive food security ramification. It's not yet. Right? According to the global report on food crisis 2018, around 124 million people across 51 countries and territories face crisis level of acute food insecurity. This is in 2017. Berikutnya, Mas. And then, if we are talking about the food security situation worsened in many regions, especially Western Asia, Southeastern Asia, and Sub-Saharan Africa. Furthermore, conflict combined with natural disaster, such as floods and drought, exacerbated by climate change, and nowadays caused by COVID-19 pandemic, add the burden of food security. Berikutnya. Now, what about the global food demand? According to the data, Food Agriculture Organization, around 60% out of 7 billion population consume rice as a staple food. And then the world can supply or prepare around 493 million ton per year. And yearly production is approximately 498 million ton. The data is released by United States Department of Agriculture. And then how about the price of the rice? Ladies and gentlemen, since 2003, rice price has escalated between 9 to 17 annually. And this will continue to increase. And even more because the production is less than the population growth. That now we know that the population in the global is around 7.1 billion. Berikutnya. Now I'm going to a little bit closer to the Indonesian situation. In Indonesia, annual demand of rice is more or less 29.5 million ton. The other side, the annual rice production in 2019 is 34.9, meaning that the supply is greater than the demand. Berikutnya. How about the food security right now? Food security exists when all people at all time have physical, economic, and social access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food, which meet their dietary need and food preferences for an active and healthy life. Berikutnya. Okay, this is what I mean with the food security. When the people can access the availability of food, the physical access of food, and then the condition of the food is stable, and the people can utilize the food properly, we can say that the food is in a secure condition. Berikutnya. Okay, on the basis of Sustainable Development Goal in 2015, the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development declared that 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And then the food system is purpose to end hunger through achieving food security and improve nutrition, and also to ensure sustainability consumption and production. If we look at this Sustainable Development Goal, we have 17 as a matter of fact, and then both SDG number 2 and SDG number 12 is 2 out of 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Ladies and gentlemen, decreasing food production could inhibit the process to achieve SDGs goal. In addition, limited production decreases food security. In this, if this is not be handled, it's going to be very dangerous because it will lead to new food crisis. Berikutnya. Okay, and then I try to offer some alternative solution. As we know that rice-based consumption habit for majority of Indonesian add the burden of food supply chain. And to solve the problem, alternative and a variety of carbohydrate source need to be carried out. One of the alternatives is exploring various local species, such as tuberous crop. Berikutnya. Okay, this is just to illustrate. Beside rice, Indonesian people is also consume cassava, corn, and sagu. If we look at the picture, sagu and corn are only consumed in a couple of provinces out of 34 provinces in Indonesia. And then the cassava consumption in the other side, it is very popular because cassava is consumed by people in 34 provinces in Indonesia. Berikutnya. This is illustration of how important the cassava is. On the basis of the program designed by Minister of Agriculture, if you look at in the second column, we have diversity in the local food. It means to buffer or to supply the availability of rice, the government prioritize cassava to be number 3 after rice and corn. It is expected that the small farmer stimuli, labor intensive, and price stability will continue food supply and keep the farmers' income. Berikutnya. Okay, this is a couple of examples tuberous crop as a source of carbohydrate. We have cassava. Cassava provide 112 kilocalories in each serving. And we have another one, sweet potato, provide 20.1 grams of carbohydrate each serving. We have also Amorphophallus konjac. I think this kind of species is also very famous in Japan. And then here in Indonesia and also in Magelang area, we have taro or Colocasia esculenta. This is very specific tropical plant species. Also, Canna edulis or Akira. This is very good for health, especially for our stomach. And I need to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, the student of the Faculty of Agriculture in this year is honored by Indofood to do the research on Canna edulis. And also Dioscorea alata. This is another kind of tuberous crop that we can find it in a big number surrounding Magelang area. Berikutnya. Okay, so the question is why cassava? There are a couple of reasons why we try to develop the cassava development. Because cassava resists droughts. Also, locust damage. Yeah, this is kind of insect. This is very dangerous for agriculture plantation. Also, cassava can be left in the ground for up to 4 years without harvesting. And we can harvest it on an as needed basis. Berikutnya. Cassava, another side, is also has a relatively high yield and is low cost source of calories. Also, cassava can produce more carbohydrate per hectare than any other food staple and can be harvested as needed. Although cassava is high in carbohydrate, it is low in protein, so cannot be considered to be a panacea for alleviating hunger. But with the development of technology, we can fortify the cassava with the beta carotene, because beta carotene is a source of provitamin A. So it doesn't matter at all, because with the addition of sufficient protein and nutrient dietary items, cassava still can help to create a balanced diet. Okay, cassava can be planted at any time of the year because there is enough moisture for stem cutting to take root. This is another problem to develop cassava, because so far we grow the cassava only from the cutting material, because so far it is still very limited information that cassava can be developed, can be propagated generatively. Cassava root can be left in the ground and harvested from 6 to 40 months from planting. So we don't need to be worried. If the cassava is in a great number, we can keep it at the same land until we need it to be harvested. Very good. This is illustration about the production and productivity of cassava in Indonesia. And the left picture, this is the harvest area. As a matter of fact, Indonesia harvests around 1 million and 1.1 million hectare. And this is growth around 4.62%. And how about the productivity? Productivity is 22.17 ton per hectare. If we compare it with Nigeria, Uganda, Brazil, as a center of cassava production, the productivity of cassava in Indonesia is a lot better compared to Uganda, Nigeria, and Brasilia as a center production country in the world. And then how about the production? This data I collected 1 year back, and Indonesia produced close to 24 million tons of cassava. And if we convert with the growing production, it grows 1.2%. So this is distribution of cassava in Indonesia. I just wanna indicate that in 34 provinces in Indonesia, we can find cassava because cassava is grown in 34 provinces in Indonesia. And then if you look at number 9, Sumatera Barat mean West Sumatra, the production is even higher than the average of national production. We look at it, the number Sumbar is 37.33. It means that if you compare it with the Uganda and Nigeria as center of cassava production, it's more or less 37 divided by 9, should be 4 times. Berikutnya. And then, okay, we can notice that even in the capital city of Indonesia, Jakarta, the people still growing the cassava. Okay, because we can see that harvesting area in DKI Jakarta is still 15 hectare. It's not too bad with the productivity 116 quintal per hectare. Okay, berikutnya. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, why to explore the local potensi? Okay, if you look at it, the color of map, the red color of map, Kedua Regency cover 6 territories, and then we have ecological type from ocean to mountain, and we are rich in the different kind of biodiversity. Berikutnya. Okay, as I mentioned before that Indonesia produce between 23 to 24 million ton annually. Cassava is also adapts to poor soils in which many other crops fail, including rice, soybean, and corn even. And then cassava can be easily propagated by stem cutting. I need to stress in this specific case because so far we only use cutting a part of vegetative propagation to grow the cassava. Berikutnya. Okay, this is the vertically diversity of cassava. It means that cassava is very useful to keep our body healthy, and then cassava also can be used as a textile industry raw material. Cassava can be used as a sweetener. Cassava is also can be utilized for bioethanol, also to produce amylum. The byproduct of bioethanol is bioplastic. This is also from the cassava. Also, this is very important too, that cassava is the main source of animal food or feed. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if we are talking about the superiority of cassava, at least there are 6 different characteristics. The cassava is very easy to be found. It means that availability is very high, the productivity is very good, the processing is very easy, and it's also economics, environmentally friendly, and this is to support the food security. Berikutnya. So, how to develop cassava in Indonesia? I propose 5 different strategic value of cassava in terms of the opening market, the availability of food material, the crop value, the growth, and the productivity. Okay, I believe in order to develop the cassava in a greater number, we have to touch at least 6 different sectors. What's that? That is research management, production system, harvest and post-harvest, distribution and marketing, institution, and also regulation. These all strategies are required to guarantee that the farmers will grow the cassava with the benefit for them. Berikutnya. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I propose a couple of possible research themes and topics. The first is intensify and utilize cassava to diversify food. I believe that participants can read in Indonesian language, maybe in order to make easy for us, like explorations and research potency of cassava in terms of agro ecosystem in Kedu area. Okay, and then there are so many more that we can pay more attention to. Berikutnya. And then engineer instrumentation and tool to modernize cassava handling and management. And also a couple of topics we can do, we can conduct the research. Berikutnya. Also study of dynamic of land resources for cassava development. Berikutnya. A study of climate change phenomenon on the cassava production is another case that we can do. Berikutnya. Also consortium of cassava development as a staple food alternative. Berikutnya. Build and improve consumption diversity on the basis of cassava. Berikutnya. The development of renewable energy using cassava. Berikutnya. And also development of biofuel raw material to support industry through urban development. What does it mean? If Untidar, okay, let's say, I repeat, Untidar has 5 different faculties with 19 to 20 study program. If we can work together, what I propose here can be done inter-study program and inter the faculty, even inter the university. So I believe if Dr. Hayakawa is still there, I hope we can start to collaborate in certain topic or team for research collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, berikutnya. I would like to make a short remark from the sharing of the maybe knowledge a little bit about the cassava. First, food security is an integral element to achieve the sustainable development goal, to end the hunger. As I said again at the first of the seminar, that around 1 billion people out of 7 billion is in a critical condition because they cannot access the food. And then the use of local food resources like sweet potato, cassava, and yam, Dioscorea, taro, has a strategic role to provide safe and nutritious food for the people. And it is nonsense if the people is on the empty stomach, we will build peace. I want to stress that we cannot build peace on an empty stomach. Thank you very much. Before closing the remark, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for wearing a mask. This is just to protect the spread of virus because we are in the closed air circulation. Again, thank you very much for having this priceless opportunity. The time I return it back to the moderator. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Insinyur Usman Siswanto, MSc PhD, for the nice and interesting presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that cassava is also well known in Indonesia as Singkong, right? In most area in Indonesia. And we know it also as telo in in Java Island. And also in Magelang, it is well known as jendal or then kaspo in Magelang, right? If you are from rural areas, I think you know this, right? But in English, we just call it cassava, right? Very modern. Well, cassava and its friends like taro, and then taro, we call it as what we call it, Pak Taro?
Ui, kembili.
Kembili, ui. Talas, yeah, something like that. And then yam, sweet potato, or we know it as telo mundo, right? Telo pendem, right? Yeah. And also we know, and the other friends of cassava is chira. Yeah. In Japanese, Japanese people know it as ganyong. Yeah. See, cassava and its friends are really beneficial for our health, our body. One thing that I can note down from Pak Usman's presentation is that cassava can create a balanced diet. But we have to also implant it in our mind that cassava also contain arsenic poison. But how can we handle those poison? You can ask to the presenters later. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now I will open, now we come to the question and answer session. There will be two sessions, and each session will be for 3 questions. And then before you ask the questions, please mention your name and state which presenter you address the question. Please raise hand. And then if you find difficulties in expressing the questions in English, You can say it in Bahasa Indonesia and then I will translate it into English to Professor Hayakawa. You may also ask the questions in the chat box. Ladies and gentlemen, the floor is yours then now. Yeah. Are there any persons who are asking? Let me check the chat box. Yeah, there are no questions. Then if there are no questions, then I will ask you. I will ask you.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, who can answer my questions, right? Yeah, the first question is, from cassava itself, what kind of food can it be made?
All right, thank you very much.
Please raise your hand. Please raise your hand. If you are indigenous Magelang, you might know. Oh yeah, there is a question, but the question will be the attendance list. Where is the attendance list? Daftar hadir, not about the question. Yeah, well, see, then I will give you, this is a kind of hook. Yeah. Professor Hayakawa, how about the taste of the dried vegetable and also fruits? Yeah. Are they similar to the original or they are far different? Thank you, Professor. Please answer my question.
Okay. You mean just the difference between the vegetable in Kagawa and in Japan? Yeah, actually, the asparagus, jumbo asparagus is the original product in Kagawa. And another one is a kintoki carrot, also original product. One problem in kintoki carrot, just the season is limited, and usually farmer sell to the metropolitan. It's very difficult to eat for us in Kagawa people because it's expensive. That is a big problem. But when we make, say, processed food, I mean the dried vegetables or the another juice or canned fruit or canned vegetable, it is okay. But usually, so the farmer in Kagawa produce the high value of vegetable because they have to earn a lot of money to continue the farm. And so you asked me the previously, and they have eaten the dried vegetables. And I would like to say answer more. Have you tried to eat lettuce? I'd like to ask you, the lettuce is sweet or not? Okay. I cannot hear.
Can they listen?
Okay.
It's fresh and crunchy.
Fresh one.
Yeah, fresh and crunchy.
Crunchy.
Crunchy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How
say,
about the dried one?
yes, lettuce is sweet.
Oh, it's sweet.
Sweet. Say,
Is
do you
it
know that?
special
Yes.
for Japanese lettuce or Kagawa's
No,
lettuce?
not Japanese lettuce. I say popular lettuce.
Oh, the popular
I say,
ones.
you know that sugar content of lettuce is 1.7%. Not so sweet. Okay, 1.7%. A little bit sweet, but not sweet. But after drying, so remove the water, the sugar content is around 20 or 30% in dried lettuce. That's why we feel sweet.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Professor Kagawa. I think there are some questions for you. Let me read it for you.
Mhm.
This is a question from Martina Puspa, yeah, from Erlangga University. Excuse me, Professor Hayakawa, regarding to your explanation about cryptoxanthin as the inhibitor of osteoclast activity, at calcium metabolism, we learned about the importance role of vitamin D to enhance the calcium absorption at the intestine. So which one do you prefer to take care of our bone health? Is that cryptoxanthin as
Yes.
the derivative of beta carotene or vitamin D as the enhancer of odd calcium absorption?
Okay, that is a good question. Which one is better? Both are better, the conclusion. Because the active point is different. So vitamin D, when we intake vitamin D, enzyme, depending on the vitamin D, will activate. So making the bone actively when we intake vitamin D. So it's important to intake vitamin D. This one is making bone. And beta-cryptocyantin, another action. So inhibit the activity of the osteoclast cell. So inhibit the breakdown of bone. The vitamin D accelerate making bone. So different mechanism. So both are important.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Professor Hayakawa, Ibu Martina Puspa. I hope it can satisfy you. If you have more questions, please write it down again in the chat box. And then the second question is proposed by Ibu Anissa Setia Arifina. Yeah. This is saya ingin bertanya untuk Profesor Hayakawa ya. Want to ask you, Professor. Saya punya pengalaman makan pisang. Oh wow, this is banana. Yeah, this is I undergo when I'm having banana, when I'm eating banana. Perut saya merasakan sakit seperti asam lambung yang kumat. Yeah, when having bananas, when eating bananas, she feels that something uneasy in the stomach. Yeah, it is like gastric acid, and then sakit sekali, it hurts. Yeah, dan tidak bisa ditahan, and I cannot help it. Kira-kira zat apa di dalam yang menyebabkan itu? Yeah, what do you think of? What do you think of what makes it happen? Mengapa hal itu bisa terjadi? Why can it happen? So when she is eating bananas, any kinds of bananas, she feels hurt in her stomach. Yeah, just like gastric acid. And then why can it happen? What makes it happen? Professor Hayakawa, please.
Banana.
Banana. I think it's
Okay,
ripe banana,
yes,
Professor.
actually, banana is my favorite fruit. So do you know the pisang goreng? I love it.
But not ripe banana.
Yes.
It will be keripik banana.
Yeah. Banana, say, we do not produce banana in Kagawa. That is a problem, but banana is very good fruit for our stomach. One is plenty of the fiber. Fiber is contained, fiber is included in the banana. And now I don't know the as a functional component in banana. Many European people like to eat banana, especially the North European people, Finland and Sweden. Maybe so banana is good for our health. And I usually eat banana in Indonesia. That's why I actively worked in Indonesia. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. It might be the difference of the condition of banana. Japanese banana is beneficial for our health, but I think it is Japanese banana. And what kind of banana does Bu Anissa Setia eat then? And it seems that Professor Hayakawa needs to find more what kind of substance makes her suffer from this kind of disease. Yeah, Ibu Anissa Setia Arifina, if you are satisfied with this, please note that in the chat box. And then if you have more questions, please also share it in the chat box. Well, Professor Hayakawa, it seems that there is also one more question. Oh no, two more questions. Oh, one more question. Excuse me, Professor Hayakawa, how is the welfare level of farmers in Japan? Professor, please.
Yes, okay. That is a very good question. So just maybe as a system of the farmer, in Japan, we have big company, maybe the, let's say, cooperative company, JA, Japan Agricultural Company. So JA can control the farmers' production. So farmer safely produce agricultural products, for example, rice and some say vegetables and fruits. But this JA has some activities for the welfare of the farmer, the insurance, and say borrowing money, and some the sort of the bank. So this JA can control, this JA can manage for the farmer to work, say, safely. So Japanese farmers' welfare is very good, but one problem, so they cannot earn plenty of money because of the control of the JA. So some farmers they has independent activities to produce value-added agricultural products. So now this farmer expanding more. Anyway, so the welfare of farmer in Japan is very good, but their work is so hard. Now, Japanese young people wouldn't like to work for the agriculture. That is a big problem. That's it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Professor. Bapak Zaki Faros Rusdi. Yeah, those are the answers from Professor Hayakawa.
Yeah.
If you are satisfied with this answer, please let us know in the chat box. Yeah. And then, well, we come to the next session. I will invite 3 more questions, and there are also questions for Professor Hayakawa and also for Pak Usman. And then this one is for Professor Hayakawa. This is from Mendo Victorin Tia Kakeris. Thank you very much, Professor Hayakawa, for your presentation.
Okay, thank you.
I am Cynthia Victorin Maitimu from Victory University, Papua. Very interesting, Professor. I want to ask, are there functional foods in Japan that have more nutrition for the body during COVID-19 pandemic? And can it be combined with local food in Indonesia? If any, please introduce to us. Yeah, please, Professor.
The local fruit?
Yes.
They combine the local fruit in Indonesia.
Yes, the local from Japan and the local from Indonesia. It would be
or is it just a combine?
Yeah, the combination between both local foods.
just thinking, sorry.
This is for
especially
nutrition.
so, based on fruits, it depends on the climate. So in Japan, we have many fruits grown in cold place. For example, northern place, apple, persimmon. But in tropical fruit, a little bit different. The climate is a little bit different. But we they introduce persimmon and strawberries in, say, Southeast Asian countries, especially so highland, say altitude is high, a little bit cold. So we can introduce fruits and vegetables. But I have no idea now.
Yes, thank you, Professor. In my imagination, but when we make a bowl of soup, it consists of Japanese carrot and also Indonesian carrot. Yeah. Yeah. Does it taste the same?
Yeah, almost same. Yeah.
Yeah, then next one. Permisi Hayakawa Sensei.
Yeah.
My name is Fariha Husna Zahra, a student of communication science from Tidar University. I want to ask you about dried vegetables such as dried lettuce or anything else. Is the vitamins or nutrition in the fresh vegetables and dried vegetables different? I'm curious whether the nutrition in dried vegetables are less than the fresh ones or not. Thank you, Sensei.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same.
Okay. Just I showed we can store dry vegetable. The polyphenol content is almost same, so polyphenol is stable in dry vegetables, and vitamin almost same. Fresh one and dry one are almost same because we do not heat vegetable. When we use a high temperature, vitamin reduce in the vegetable. So just thinking about the freeze drying, vitamin content in dry vegetable is almost same as freeze dry vegetable. So vitamin content does not change in dry vegetable. But why polyphenol increase in cold dry vegetable? Because say activity of enzyme are still maintained. That's why the polyphenol content is increasing, but most of the vitamin are stable in cold, dry vegetables. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor. It is from Fahira Husna Zahra. Yeah, Fahira Husna Zahra. But Fahira, if it seems that the answers from Professor Hayakawa has satisfied you, please let us know by stating something in the chat box. Well, the next question. Well, Professor, I think it would be good idea if you send her the dried lettuce so she can taste the dried lettuce. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, oh yes.
Next time, I'm gonna bring dried vegetable, dried lettuce.
Yes.
Maybe
Thank
I'd
you,
like to
Professor.
go next year.
We are looking forward to.
Okay.
Well, the next is from this one, Anindita Ayu. Yeah. Excuse me, I'm Anindita Ayu from Animal Science Department, or from Animal Husbandry. My question is for Professor Usman. Despite many people consume cassava, there's still some people who has negative stigma about cassava. Is there any solution to remove that kind of stigma? Pak Usman, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Ibu Anindita, terima kasih sudah menyampaikan pertanyaan. We have to be honest. Indeed, so far we have eaten or we have used so many different kinds of cassava product. Yeah. Okay, we will see in the next 6 or 1 year. If we correlate it with the pandemic right now, nobody is sure when this pandemic will be ended or will last. And if this happens, we will see. We have to try to find some other food resources, things to come along with the food that we have right now, today. Yeah, this is one case. And this is another case. Ibu Anidita, maybe I will send you the article dealing with the cassava. The University of Cornell, United States, they have been conducting the research on the next generation cassava breeding. This research focusing on how to open the mystery of cassava reproduction. This research has been funded by Melinda Gates Foundation. How much? The fund is around 12 million US dollar. It means this is very crucial. This is very important. If we just look at the stigma, so that's why in the last part of my slide, I offer a couple of research that we need to conduct. Yeah, even though I try to avoid just kind of stigma, I prefer to look at from other side. Basically, the cassava is very high potential. I also mentioned before that just the weakness of the cassava is less of protein. But this protein can be added by biofortification of cassava. This research is still going on. Yeah, maybe we do not know what's going on in the next 2 years, particularly related to the pandemic situation. So, maybe we don't need to erase the stigma, negative stigma when we consume the cassava. Because, Ibu Anindita, actually what we consume today, like bakso, is also from the cassava, flour. So there are so many vertical diversity produced from cassava. Oke, ya nanti saya bisa kirimkan, jadi ada artikel yang bagus. Jadi yang ternyata yang punya next generation itu is not only Boeing, the big company in United States that produce airplane, but also the cassava. Ya, jadi ada generasi ke depan tentang pemuliaan ubikanya. Ya, hanya kita memang belum tahu. Jadi saya akan mengulangi lagi, I will repeat. Indeed, the potential of cassava in Indonesia is a lot better if we compare it with Brasilia as a number 3 production of cassava and Uganda and Nigeria. We just have the same position in terms of the production with Thailand, because we can produce 20. Okay, let's say Sumatera Barat is average, yeah. Average, the productivity is 23 or 24, 25 ton per hectare. Yeah, and this is very good. And then, okay, let's say like this. Ya, jadi saya bisa sharing informasi ini tidak apa-apa. Bahkan I discuss with my colleagues here from Animal Science Study Program to conduct the research on the how the leaf of cassava will affect or influence the growth of this certain metabolism when we give it and when we feed it to geese. Geese. It's not chicken, but geese. Yeah. Okay. It will be surprising if we not only focusing on the stigma, but it's okay. It's okay. For the time being, it's okay. Ibu Anindita. Jadi bukan pada stigma itu sendiri, karena pada dasarnya hampir semua produk yang kita konsumsi sekarang ini sebetulnya turunan dari cassava. Makanya yang kita sebut dengan vertical diversity. Jadi kalau singkongnya kan ya seperti itu. Tapi kalau sudah diubah ada mokaf misalnya ya. Ada mokaf, ada bentuk-bentuk tepung yang lain. Itu sebetulnya sebagian besar saat ini itu berasal dari ubi kayu. Dan riset ini dilakukan di Nigeria memang itu sangat maju saya kira. Riset ini sudah dimulai sejak tahun 2013. Yeah, as usual maybe we will be too late to do the same thing. Baik, saya kira.
Thank you, Pak Usman. Ibu Anindita, I'm sorry for calling you directly by the name Anindita. I'm sorry, Ibu. Ibu Anindita, if the answer has satisfied you, please let us know in the chat box. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems that we still have 2 questions for Pak Usman and 1 more question for Professor Hayakawa. And then Pak Usman, there is another question. Mohon izin bertanya untuk Pak Usman, bagaimana balance diet jika kita menggunakan umbi-umbian sebagai pangan? How about balanced diet if we consume bulbs or tubers as the resource of carbohydrate?
Okay. Well, of course, we cannot use cassava alone to fulfill our diet. But at least we have a choice to have horizontal diversity. Yeah. In addition to rice as staple food. It means if we use like kana atau ganyong ya, we will have the choice or alternative to have or to fulfill the carbohydrate needs, except beras. Jadi ini juga menarik ya, saya pikir ganyong misalnya. Ganyong itu kan menurut riset kesehatan itu membuat metabolisme pencernaan perut kita itu menjadi lebih bagus. Ya. Cool. Jadi untuk mendinginkan metabolisme sehingga menghasilkan sebuah proses yang menenangkan atau mendinginkan perut kita, stomach itu sedang berlangsung juga. Jadi kita harus memperbanyak diversifikasi horizontal dengan memanfaatkan tadi sumber-sumber karbohidrat. Ya. Yang kami sampaikan di sini adalah ada tanaman-tanaman ubi-ubian. Ya. Jadi ada uwi, kemili, ganyong, suwak, gadung, cassava, terus sweet potato sendiri gitu. Oke. Tapi saya pikir kita ini masih banyak sebetulnya ada hidden treasure gitu ya, hidden treasure dari sumber-sumber biodiversitas ini yang memang perlu kita eksplorasi sehingga tadi saya sampaikan kita tidak hanya diseragamkan untuk bisa menggunakan atau mengkonsumsi beras. Jadi saya pikir banyak sekali yang perlu dieksplorasi ya, termasuk sekali lagi terima kasih Ibu Risa ya, Riza. Ya. I hope I call your name is correctly. Thank you very much.
Well, Ibu Riza, that is the answer from Pak Usman. If you are satisfied with the answer, please let us know by saying something in the chat box. And then another question to Pak Usman. Pertanyaan untuk Pak Usman. This is from Chandra. I don't know if it is Ibu Chandra or Bapak Chandra ya.
Chandra.
Menurut Bapak, apakah frozen cassava or ketela yang dibekukan adalah solusi yang sehat? Karena kadang setiap saat, tidak setiap saat bisa mendapatkan ketela yang masih dalam bentuk umbi berkulit. So what do you think, Pak Usman? Is frozen cassava is a good solution or healthy solution? Since the fresh cassava is not available anytime.
Okay, thank you very much. Pak Chandra, I believe that we can consume this. Okay, if maybe I read a couple of journal from Nigeria, even some parts of Nigerian, they have different culture, how to consume the cassava. The other side, I do not remember where. They like to consume cassava freshly with the sweet taste. And in other places, they prefer to consume cassava after certain storage, after they, I mean, not freshly. And then they like cassava with the bitter taste, not sweet, but the same cassava. What I mean is, we can use both freshly or after maybe cook, after cook sometime. I mean, it's not necessary to be freshly consumed. Jadi kira-kira kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia di Afrika, di Nigeria, karena memang Nigeria, kenapa saya selalu merujuk Nigeria dan Uganda, karena itulah produsen terbesar cassava di dunia ini. Tetapi ketika produktivitas mereka itu hanya 8,8 sampai 9 ton per hektar, ya, berarti luasan yang mereka gunakan itu kan banyak sekali. Padahal mereka nomor 1 loh ya, kita ini nomor 4 ya di bawah Thailand. Tetapi karena produktivitas kita itu tinggi, di Sumatera Barat bisa sampai 37 ton per hektar. Bahkan varietas Adira itu ada yang 1 pohon itu bobotnya 250 kg. That's a big number, ya. Gitu. Nah, pasti tadi saya sampaikan juga di strategi itu kita perlu mengembangkan sebuah teknologi processing, ya. Saya punya mungkin pemikiran bagaimana ya, kalau tadi Bu moderator itu mengatakan Magelang itu kan terkenal gedok. Gedok bahan bakunya adalah singkong. Tetapi itu hanya mampu bertahan paling lama 4 hari. Jadi setelah itu expire. Nah, suatu saat karena ke depan mungkin singkong ini akan menjadi salah satu unggulan menurut saya di samping komoditas yang lain gitu. Bagaimana kita meng-create sebuah teknologi sehingga bisa memprolong atau memperpanjang shelf life of cassava ini. Jadi gedok misalnya bisa bertahan dengan kualitas yang tetap bagus sampai 6 bulan gitu kan, terus sampai 1 tahun gitu ya. Jadi kayak produk-produk yang lain, dan itu is very possible to have it this kind of product. Jadi menurut saya bukan ahli gizi ya, tapi dari beberapa jurnal yang saya baca, it doesn't make any difference whether we consume freshly or after kept a certain time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Chandra. Yeah, that is the answer from Pak Usman. If you think that you still need more answers, please contact Pak Usman. Yeah. Yeah. And then there is also, this is a chat from Ibu Fariha Husna Zahra. She is thanking to Professor Hayakawa Sensei. Yeah. Thank you, Sensei, for your answer to Ibu Fariha Husna Zahra. And then there is also still one more question from YouTube. Yeah, this is from Ibu Putri Wahyu Wibowo. Yeah, this is from live YouTube. I have a question for Professor Hayakawa about the product of food with functional claims. Is there any exact category about the product? Does it focus on nutrients or vitamins that is needed by human body, or this is one way to present the signature vegetable of the country, like the product of Kentucky carrot from the Agribisnis point, or like the product of Kentucky carrot from the Agribisnis point of view? Thank you. Professor Hayakawa?
Okay. Thank you for the question for me. At first, I'd like to answer the function claim food, and we have only 3 categories for the functional food. As I told you, one is a tokho, and another one is a nutrient claim, a vitamin and mineral. For example, vitamin A or vitamin C, magnesium, ferric, and magnesium or something. So another category, so recent category is function claim food. And in this category, there is no nutrient categories. For example, vitamin and mineral. So because vitamin and mineral are included in the nutrient category. So when we they show the function claim food, we have to have some scientific evidence. So if we have some scientific evidence, just they cited from the published journal, it's okay. So in the case of Kintoki carrot, we don't have any function claim food because production is limited in Kagawa. So especially so production is limited in Japan. So maybe less than 1% of total carrot. And the season is restricted in winter. That's why we don't say farmer doesn't need to have a function claim food because this Kintoki carrot is usually they consumed at the New Year season, just a celebration of the New Year season, because we like to celebrate New Year season with colorful, especially reddish color products. That's why the people is usually welcome to eat Kintoki carrot in only New Year season. That's why the farmer in Kagawa don't like to make functional food. Just selling Kintoki ninjin, Kintoki carrot in restricted period, season. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor. Yeah. Thank you, Professor. Well, it seems that Kagawa is really inviting for us. Yeah. We are looking forward to have a real visit to Kagawa and to have a taste on the sweet lettuce, fresh Kagawa lettuce, and also fresh asparagus, yeah, from Kagawa, which is, you have stated before that it is really sweet and juicy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever tried hot steamed cassava? Yeah, hot steamed cassava. Here in Magelang, if you are indigenous Magelang or indigenous Java, you call it as telur rebus, right? Yeah, it's really fluffy and puffy. In Japanese language, we call it as menul-menul, right? Yeah, if you tried it, you will be addicted. Well, ladies and gentlemen, finally, we come to the end of the presentation and also the question and answer sessions. We would like to thank to all presenters, Professor Kagawa and also Pak Usman, for their informative and also interesting talk. And also I will also thank to the audience for the active participation. Hopefully the presentations will be beneficial for anyone, anybody. As the moderator, I'm sorry for the shortcoming that might be done. And good day, everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I return the opportunity back to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Srisawati, Mr. Usman, and also Professor Sebagai. Such an enlightening presentation. All right, now we would like to go to our next session. That is for improvement of book chapter writing. Perkembangan penulisan book chapter. For the moderator.
Oh, see, give the chance to me again.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Mbak MC. Yeah. I think for the development of book chapter, it would be conducted by Pak Albari, right? Pak Albari, please show up. Yeah, Pak Albari. Now I see your face, Mr. Ahmad Albari. Yeah, you are still muted. Please unmute your.
Oh yes. So Albari, the chat is yours.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. So I can talk right now. Thank you so much, Bu Wanti.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and it was very nice discussion. And then thank you so much for your kindness to guide us to have interesting discussion between participants and the presenters. Thank you so much. Terima kasih, Ibu.
You're welcome. Don't mention it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And recently, I have a slide. Ini saya akan coba dengan bahasa Indonesia untuk mohon kiranya dibantu untuk overview program ini, Ibu. Jadi ini mohon izin untuk bisa menyampaikan kegiatan kita. Sebelumnya, saya mohon kiranya bisa dibantu untuk memunculkan poster dulu, poster ya. Jadi ini diturunkan dulu dan kami masih mempunyai agenda untuk tanggal 5 Oktober. Jadi tanggal 5 Oktober itu hari Senin itu akan ada pembicara kita dari Prof. Shigeru Hayakawa lagi dan juga dari Undip Prof. Priyo Bintoro. Nanti moderator adalah Ibu Dr. Siti Susanti dan openingnya dari Ketua Departemen di tempat kami, Dr. Didik Wisnu Wijayanto. Nah, untuk itu nanti peserta mohon kiranya tetap bisa hadir dalam kesempatan ini untuk bisa nantinya memberikan pendapat, solusi dari masalah tentang book chapter juga, dan juga menambah ilmu pengetahuan. Oleh karena itu besok besar harapan kami bisa untuk ikut bergabung lagi di acara workshop yang kebetulan besok tanggal 5 adalah yang hostnya itu adalah Undip. Jadi nanti bisa untuk disebarkan informasi ini dan juga sudah bisa untuk dinikmati. Dan di sini ada registrasinya ya. Jadi registrasinya sudah tampil di situ untuk bisa kembali hadir pada hari Senin minggu depan. Kami tunggu. Ya, terima kasih. Kemudian selanjutnya ini untuk yang book chapter, ya jadi diganti untuk yang book chapter. Jadi kaitannya dengan program, kami coba lanjut ke slide yang kedua. Kami sangat berterima kasih. Thank you very much for Professor Shigeru Hayakawa as our special lecturer, special guest for today. Thank you so much. Your information provide a huge beneficial effect for students and for all of us to always consume vegetable and fruits daily. Thank you so much. And we are waiting your topic, your theme for the next workshop. Okay, so the next slide. Terima kasih juga untuk Pak Usman Siswanto MSc PhD yang sudah berkenan untuk memberikan ilmunya untuk kita. Ini teman-teman Singkong, teman-teman Kasava di Undip ini hadir, insya Allah semua di sini tadi. Jadi sangat menarik makanya bertemu di sini, membagi informasi, insya Allah menjadi informasi yang tidak istilahnya informasi yang sangat berguna dan menjadi istilahnya ilmu, menambah kasanah pengetahuan kami yang ada di sini. Tetap bisa untuk menyampaikan informasi di lain kesempatan ya Pak Usman. Masih berkenan ya Pak ya. Terima kasih sudah diberi kesempatan untuk bersama kami. Oke, the next. Jadi kita masih ada tanggal 5. Jadi dan tanggal 12 nanti akan ada book launching. Harapannya ini para peserta yang sudah terdaftar dan bisa berkenan untuk menjadi book author bisa untuk tetap selalu paling tidak untuk yang saat ini yang kami butuhkan itu adalah judul. Selanjutnya coba slide-nya. Jadi ini nanti temanya besok, selanjutnya lagi. Juga tak lupa mengucapkan terima kasih pada Pak Rektor, pada Pak Wakil Rektor 1 yang sudah berkenan, kemudian Pak Dekan, terutama Ibu Moderator Bu Wanti, terima kasih, Bu Wida, Mbak Anissa, dan juga tim kerjasama di Untidar, Departemen Pertanian di FPP, kemudian Departemen Peternakan, Kaprodi Teknologi Pangan, khususnya, dan juga teman-teman kita sejawat ini Ibu, kami ada Bu Etsa, Bu Heni, Bu Yani, Bu Santi, kemudian Mbak Fatma dan Mbak Widya, kemudian Mbak Elsa, Mas Bobi dan Mbak Muna. Terima kasih sudah memberikan support untuk kita semuanya. Kemudian selanjutnya program yang nanti itu kami harus keluar ISBN dulu ini Bapak dan Ibu. Sehingga paling tidak itu kami bisa untuk memberikan apa istilahnya ini bukan tanggal 17 September, ini 17 Septembernya itu adalah launching printnya. Kalau launchingnya untuk yang resmi itu adalah tanggal 12. Nah, kemudian selanjutnya, nah kami harus input